Welcome back. This is episode number 63. It is the last episode which was recorded a few minutes ago. I committed a mistake at the inception and said that it was episode number 61. It was really episode number 62. So please correct it. And while uploading I will correct it, but at the same time in the recorded portion it will remain as such as 61, but doesn't matter. The title and description will show it correctly. Now in this episode number 63, I propose to deal with the subject civil appeals. It is a very important provisions. Important provisions are there, and to some extent lengthy. And what are the categories of appeals? 1. Appeals from original decrees. 2. Appeals from orders. These are the two categories. 3. We will deal with it general provisions relating to all appeals. So under these three categories we will be dealing with it. Appeals from original decrees and appeals from orders are the two categories of appeals. And the third one, general provisions, which is applicable to both. And what are these, which are the different provisions which are relevant for 1, 2, 3. 1. Appeals from original decrees. You may note the relevant provisions are Section 96, 97, 99, 99 capital A and Order 41. I will say once again 96, 97, 99, 99A sections and Order 41. Appeals from orders. Sections 104, 105, 106 and Order 43. 104, 105 and 106 plus Order 43. General provisions. Sections 107 and 108. This is the scheme of civil appeals under the CPC. So expressions will be found: appeal from decree, appeal from order. And when we see that, we have to see the definition of decree and order. Decree, section 2.2 defines decree, formal expression of an adjudication which, so far as the parties are concerned, conclusively determines the rights of parties and which may be either preliminary or final. It shall be deemed to include the rejection of plaint and determination of a question under 144, but shall not include a decision as to but does not include an order from which an appeal lies as an appeal from an order or a dismissal for default. This is in short the definition of decree 2.2. And definition of order is contained in Rule 2 in Section 214. Order means formal expression of any decision of a civil court which is not a decree. So what is a decree? We will see now itself. Decree. Decree means the formal expression of an adjudication which, so far as regards the court expressing it, conclusively determines the rights of parties. Conclusively determines the rights of parties. with regard to all or any of the matters in controversy in the suit and may be either preliminary or final. So a formal expression conclusively determines the rights of parties with regard to all or any of the matters, and it can be either a preliminary decree or a final decree or both. It shall be deemed to include. Deemed to include means it is not a decree, but it is deemed to be a decree. It shall be deemed to include the rejection of a plaint and the determination of any question within section 144. Rejection of plaint, Order 7, Rule 11. There are different grounds for rejection of plaint. It does not disclose a cause of action, barred by any law for the time being in force, it is written on a stamp paper which is insufficient, or the proper variation is not shown, or it is not presented in the proper manner as per the, there are two clauses which are amended in 2002. All those things may entail in the rejection of plaint. Rejection of plaint is an order, but it shall be deemed to be decree for the purpose of appeal. Rejection of plaint, because it has drastic consequences. 144, restitution. A files a suit against B for recovery of possession. Suit is decreed. Immediately A files an execution petition. B has filed an appeal. He did not get stay, or stay was conditional. He did not comply with the condition. Therefore, stay has gone. There is nothing wrong in delivering the property in favor of A because the decree is valid. Decrees, though subject to appeal, does not as such be a ground for stay. So executed. A gets delivery of the property. And subsequently, B's appeal was allowed by the appellate court. That means A's suit for recovery of possession was dismissed. But by that time, the property was delivered and A obtained possession of the property. That property has to come back to B, because B is not directed as per the appellate decree to surrender possession, and A does not get a right to get recovery of possession of that property, but it happened in execution. So it has to revert back to the same position which would have been there but for the trial court decree. That is putting the parties in the same position which they would have occupied but for the decision in the appeal. That is what is called restitution under section 144. But shall not include. So this shall be deemed to be a decree. An order under section 144 shall be deemed to be a decree. An order under Order 7, Rule 11 shall be deemed to be a decree. So deemed decree. But shall not include any adjudication from which an appeal lies as an appeal from an order. What is that? Order, we have seen the definition, which is not a decree. So an appeal lies, an order from which, any adjudication from which an appeal lies as an appeal from an order. That is not a decree. So an order of injunction, it is appealable. Order 39, Rule 1. It is appealable under Order 43. But it is not a decree. It is an order. Or any order for dismissal for default. An appeal is dismissed for default. It is not a decree. A suit is dismissed for default. It is not a decree. Dismissal for default. So, this is the definition of decree. Explanation. A decree is preliminary when further proceedings have to be taken before the suit can be completely disposed of. It is final when such adjudication completely disposes of the suit. It may be partly preliminary and partly final. Say for example a suit for partition. The shares are determined, the disputes are resolved, and a preliminary decree is passed defining the shares of various parties. But that has to be worked out, and the property is to be divided by metes and bounds. Inspection of the property is required, and so many things are required. Therefore, that is relegated to the final decree stage. Final decree stage, that will be implemented. How final decree should be drafted and all those things. So that is a preliminary decree will be passed, and thereafter on the application of parties a final decree will be passed. Then comes the execution. Whereas a decree for payment of money, decree is passed. Decree for recovery of possession, decree is passed. No preliminary decree, no final decree. It can be straightaway executed. So a decree is passed, execution can be had. Whereas a preliminary decree, that cannot be executed. Preliminary decree, then final decree. Then it can be executed. Say dissolution of partnership and rendition of accounts. Usually a preliminary decree is passed. Order 34. Preliminary decree, final decree. That is mortgage suit. These are the types of decrees. Then there are deemed decrees which are provided in section 2.2. Apart from that, there are some orders which are treated as decrees for the purpose of appeal. For example, Order 21 Rule 58 an order, and Order 21 Rules 97 to 104. 103 provides, 103 Rule 103 provides that the order shall be treated as a decree for the purpose of appeal. Garnishee proceedings, Order 21 Rule 46 to 46I. An order shall be deemed to be, say, disputed questions, third parties' rights are involved. That shall be deemed to be a decree. So when the scheme of CPC is that whenever an adjudication is made, whether in execution or otherwise, where a third party's rights are affected, third party is not a party, he is not a party to the suit, but his rights are affected, then an appeal is provided. That is a general scheme of CPC. Now we have seen the definition of decree, we have seen the definition of order. Now appeal from decrees and orders. We will see 96. Part 7 of the CPC deals with appeals. Part 7, the first heading is appeals from original decree. There it is up to sections 97 to 96 to 99A. Then appeals from appellate decrees. 100, 100A onwards up to 103. Then appeals from orders. 104. Why I did not say 100 and all those things in this episode? I am not going to deal with the second appeals because that is for High Court lawyers. We are primarily concerned with the lawyers in the subordinate courts. Therefore, I did not mention about 100, 101, etc. Then appeals from orders. 104, 105, 106. Then general provisions relating to appeals. 107, 108. Then appeals to Supreme Court. 109 to 112. This is a scheme. And appeals from original decrees, appellate decrees, all Order 41 will apply. Appeals from orders, Order 43 will apply. So this is the scheme of CPC. See, nobody will need be afraid of approaching the CPC. There is no point in reading from section 1 to end and understanding it. What is required is that nobody can remember all these provisions. Nobody can study by heart all these provisions in the CPC, CRPC or IPC. Nobody can. How to work IPC, there is no difficulty, because the headings, the index itself will make it the position clear. Then take that section, read it. That is enough. CRPC little more difficult. There also the chapters are there. But CPC, people unnecessarily think that this is complicated. True, it is complicated in a sense that when we do not know how to deal with it, how to approach CPC. When we approach the CPC in a correct perspective, correct direction, it is a very friendly statute. So we have to get the practical knowledge as to how to search and find out. If you ask a question, what is this rule? I may not be able to answer. Even after this long years of practice and being a judge, I may not be able to answer. If you ask a question, is not such a decision? I do not know. Who remembers all those decisions? It is not practically possible. That is why we are studying, we are constantly, lawyers are expected to study. So long as they continue to practice, study. It is always studying and updating. So that there is no question of studying. Today I will study everything. That is not possible. Changes may occur. Either in the provisions or in the interpretation. Decisions of Supreme Court. One view may be there. Tomorrow it is overruled. So many things may happen. So 96. We will see 96. Appeal from original decree. Save where otherwise expressly provided in the body of this code or by any other law for the time being in force. An appeal shall lie from every decree passed by any court exercising original jurisdiction to the court authorized to hear appeals from decisions of such courts. What is that? Save otherwise expressly provided in the body of this code or by any law for the time being in force. An appeal shall lie from every decree passed by any court exercising original jurisdiction. So, unless otherwise provided in the code or in any other statute, every decree passed by any court exercising original jurisdiction is being capable of being challenged in appeal. So that is a right conferred by the statute. What is this? This is by CPC. What is a prohibition? Unless otherwise provided, stating that no appeal lies. Or by a separate statute. Unless that occurs, every decree passed by any court exercising original jurisdiction will lie to an appeal shall lie. To which court? To the court authorized to hear the appeals from the decisions of such court. Which is the court authorized to hear appeals? For which we have to see the Civil Codes Act also of the particular state. Here Kerala Civil Codes Act is there. Say up to this much pecuniary jurisdiction, the appeal will lie to the district court and thereafter to the High Court. And say pecuniary jurisdiction of the Municipal Court, Subordinate Judges Court, District Court and High Court, all those things, appellate powers are specified. The original jurisdiction of the Municipal Court is said, Subcourt unlimited, and then the appellate power of the Subcourt, the District Court and the High Court, all specified in this Civil Codes Act 11 to 13. Now, an appeal may lie from an original decree passed ex parte. An ex parte decree is also a decree. It is capable of being executed. I filed a suit against you for realization of 5 lakhs. You did not appear. An ex parte decree was passed against you for 5 lakhs. I can execute the decree against you. You cannot say, after all, it is an ex parte decree. Such expressions are being heard every day. It is after all an ex parte decree. After all, ex parte decree, there is no change in character. It is a decree. No doubt about it. Unless set aside. But ex parte decree, that ex parte decree can be set aside by appropriate methods. And an appeal also lies from an ex parte decree. There is no harm in filing an appeal. So for every practical purposes, ex parte decree is also a decree. But in common parlance, among the litigants, among the lawyers also, I have seen the expression, after all, it is an ex parte decree. What of it? As if the ex parte decree is not capable of being executed or enforced. It is. Ex parte decree is also a decree. An appeal may lie from an original decree passed ex parte. So it is an appealable decree. 3. No appeal shall lie from a decree passed by the court with the consent of parties. With the consent of parties. Please note. No appeal shall lie from a decree passed by the court with the consent of parties. I will put forward a question to you to work up and find out. I will discuss it in the next episode. I will give the answer also. But find out what will happen. So that you can also have a research and finding out. I will give the question after in this episode itself. What is the question? 4. No appeal shall lie except on a question of law from a decree in any suit of the nature cognizable by courts of small causes, when the amount or value of the subject matter of the original suit does not exceed 10,000 rupees. So if the amount does not, it is a small cause nature. There is a Small Cause Courts Act. So there is a section, I think section 2 or 3, which provides what are the suits of which are cognizable by courts of small causes. So, and if the amount involved, the subject matter is less than 10,000 rupees, the procedure is provided. So here no appeal shall lie except on a question of law against a decree passed in a small cause suit by a court of small causes, of the nature cognizable by a court of small causes, of the nature cognizable by courts of small causes. It is 10,000 rupees. Originally it was, before the amendment in 99, it was 3,000 rupees. So if a suit is there for less than 10,000 rupees, an appeal lies against that decree. But it is of the nature cognizable by courts of small causes, which comes under the Small Cause Courts Act. So though the court which dealt with that case is not a small cause court as such, designated as such, but suit is of the nature cognizable by a court of small causes, and the amount involved is less than 10,000 rupees. An appeal would lie, but only on a question of law. Only on a question of law. Likewise, section 100, second appeal to the High Court, 100 and 101 provides for it. What is 100? Substantial question of law. Unless that substantial question of law is there, second appeal cannot be entertained. An appeal shall lie to the High Court from every decree passed in appeal by a court of subordinate to the High Court, if the High Court is satisfied that the case involves a substantial question of law. Then only a second appeal can be filed. Supreme Court, it is a civil appeal, substantial question of law of general importance, or unless leave is granted. Formerly, before the amendment of the constitution, only cases involving a salah, a valuation of 20,000 or so, I do not remember the amount, then only it was appealable, valuation. But that was amended, that restriction was taken away. But still, it is not every matter that can be taken to Supreme Court. Like to the High Court also, only second appeal. Revision, we have seen the parameters in section 115, the necessary conditions to be satisfied. Likewise, and there is a general trend of opinion, so many in the Indian system, so many appeals, which causes the delay. There is only one appeal should be there, is the modern thought. That apart. Now I will come to the question. Question with some provisions. Please note down these provisions. And I am putting the question to you whether there is any conflict. If so, what should be done? Whether there is any conflict, and if so, what should be done? One is 96.3. The other is Order 43, Rule 1A, capital A. Third one, Order 23, Rule 3 Proviso. Next is Order 23, Rule 3A. I will invite your attention to these things. 96.3 says that no appeal shall lie from a decree passed by the court with the consent of parties. Order 43, Rule 1A. Order 43 deals with appeals from orders. There is a 1A which says where an order is made under this code against a party and thereupon any judgment is pronounced and a decree is drawn up, such party may in an appeal against the decree contend that such order should not have been made and the judgment should not have been passed. So, interlocutory orders also can be challenged in an appeal. It is not necessary always that you should rush to the High Court under 115 or under say Article 227. You can wait till the decision. Some order may be against you. A temporary injunction. In a suit, I filed a suit against you. I got a temporary injunction. You wanted to vacate it, but you did not succeed. Temporary injunction was throughout in force in the suit, but the suit is dismissed. So why should you worry? The temporary injunction also goes. Likewise, amendment of plaint. Amendment, your application was not, my application was not granted. I am aggrieved. But my suit was decided in my favor, then why should I worry about the amendment? But if it is against me, there are certain interlocutory orders which can be challenged in appeal against the decree. Then it becomes relevant. There, kindly see sub-rule 2. In an appeal against a decree passed in a suit, after recording a compromise or refusing to record a compromise, it shall be open to the appellant to contest the decree on the ground that the compromise should or should not have been recorded. 96.3 says that no appeal against a decree passed by consent of parties. Order 23, Rule 3 deals with compromise. We will come to it. Rule 1A of Order 43 says that in an appeal against a decree passed in a suit after recording a compromise or refusing to record a compromise, so an appeal is provided. 96.3 says no appeal if it is passed by consent of parties. Order 43, Rule 1A says that in an appeal against a decree which was passed after recording a compromise or refusing to record a compromise, so an appeal is there. If a compromise is recorded or if not recorded, an appeal is provided against that. As an appeal from an order, not a decree. But not an appeal from an order, it is not an appeal from an order. In an appeal against the decree passed in the case, in a suit after recording a compromise or refusing to record a compromise, it shall be open to the appellant to contest the decree on the ground that the compromise should or should not have been recorded. So, a compromise was accepted and a decree was passed. Decree is appealable. In that decree, you can challenge the compromise. But 96.3 says that no appeal lies as an appeal. No appeal shall lie from a decree passed by the court with the consent of parties. Order 23, Rule 3, compromise, consent of parties. Compromise is recorded. But you can file an appeal. Next, Order 23, Rule 3, proviso. Order 23, Rule 3, proviso. Rule 3 provides for compromise of suit. What is a Rule 3? Compromise. Adjusted wholly or in part, proved to the satisfaction of the court, lawful agreement or compromise. These conditions must be. Then a proviso is there, provided that where it is alleged by one party and denied by the other that an adjustment or satisfaction has been arrived at, the court shall decide the question, but no adjournment shall be granted, etc. Then 3a, bar to suit. No suit shall lie to set aside a decree on the ground that the compromise on which the decree is based was not lawful. No suit lies. Now see all these four provisions which I said. Section 96.3, Order 43, Rule 1a, Order 23, Proviso to Rule 3, and Order 23, Rule 3a. My question is whether 96.3 and Order 43, Rule 1a, second part of it, Rule 1a2, is not there a conflict? Is not there a conflict? If so, which will prevail? If so, which will prevail? This is the question I am posing. That is Order 43, Rule 1a2. In an appeal against a decree passed in a suit after recording a compromise. Compromise is Order 23, Rule 3. Relevant provisions I said. So compromise involves a consent and a decree is passed accepting a compromise. An appeal lies. And in that appeal you can challenge the acceptance of compromise. But 96.3 says that no appeal lies against a decree which is passed by consent of parties. So my question is, 1. Is there a conflict between 96.3 and Order 43, Rule 1a2? Or whether there is no such conflict? If there is a conflict, which will prevail? You please work up. Tomorrow I do not know whether I will be able to have a recording of a session. Anyhow, I will record it. Otherwise, day after tomorrow. Anyhow, you work up for your satisfaction. I will give the answer in the next episode. Thank you.